Ho, 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 and welcome to the very special British sitcom history podcast. It's Christmas. My name is Alan. With me, as always, is Gareth.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, very good. Today, as is traditional with our Christmas specials, we're going to look back at a series we've already looked at before, so that we don't have to get bogged down in details of all the actors and everything. We can just enjoy the Christmassy goodness. In this case, we are looking at Ghosts.
And as is traditional, Alan, we are recording this in early November. So I really, do you know what? I really got Christmassy watching this. It was nice. It's my first injection of Christmas for the year.
Well, as you know, Gareth, I am currently working it's already November. I'm working in a Christmas job. I am playing an elf in a thing.
It's one of these sort of immersive theatrical experiences, right?
It is, yes. And I play a wise old elf who we have a whole scene. But, yeah, I'm well and truly in the Christmas bedrock of everything.
And can I ask you, I know we're going off topic before we even got to our topic here,
yes.
But, you know, obviously you've got visitors paying good money to come and see this experience. Like in mid-November, is that a thing? Like, are people into the Christmas spirit?
Well, I'll tell you what. I won't. I don't know if I won't name the thing I'm actually doing, just because it feels like that might be weird. But it is a massive Christmas event that sells out in March. It is huge, and so if you go in mid-November, it's like 60 quid a ticket. If you go in mid-December, you're talking 120, 150 quid a ticket, including like two adults, two kids. You know, that's like the kids' prices are the same, and you get a lot for that. It is a very good experience, but that's why people are coming in November.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm sort of joking because it feels too early for Christmas to me, but I think I'm in the minority. I think people now as soon as Halloween decks are away, they're into it now, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, the supermarkets are anyway, yeah.
Well. Anyway, last night I watched the Christmas special of Ghosts. It's the one from Series 2, and the title is The Ghost of Christmas, and that's the one that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, because Ghosts actually did a few Christmas specials over their run. So this is the first one. This is the first Christmas special they did, Series 2. First thing interesting to note is this isn't just a straightforward let's enjoy Christmas. We do get some pretty substantial backstory on one of our characters. Julian.
Well, this is the episode that we really see Julian's backstory. When we discussed Ghosts, we talk about how you've got these ghost characters who've all come to their end at Button House in some way, and over the course of the several series, we gradually find out how they've died and get their backstories, and it's a really good way of keeping it interesting. So rather than just being what's happening in the house this week, we get those flashback episodes, and this Christmas special is Julian's flashback. Mm-hmm.
But it's tied in very nicely. Interesting enough, this episode is written by Ben Wilbond and Simon Farnaby. So that's the captain.
Now, am I right in remembering Simon Farnaby didn't write all that many of these?
He's credited writer on 2 episodes, and this is one of them. And obviously,
he was off writing Paddington and things, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But this is the Fawcett heavy one, so that makes sense that he's been more involved in the writing of it. But as a Christmas special, the theme of the Christmas... Well, we've done this before, Christmas specials. The theme is often family.
Family.
Exactly. That's quite a good impression, actually.
Thank you.
We've seen this in many other Christmas specials. Family coming together and I mean, sitcom often is a family unit, even like in Ghosts, it's somewhat unconventional family. But certainly that is standard practice for sitcom. So Christmas has always been a rich theme for.
Well, last year we did Till Death Us Do Part Christmas special, and we talked a lot about family in that one, and that is an incredibly dysfunctional family, basically almost coming to blows. Whereas in Ghosts, sure, there is family drama, there is tension, but it's just like I said about Ghosts when we covered it. There's just a lot more heart in Ghosts.
Yeah, definitely. And if we just had a Christmas special where all the people are dealing with Christmas, it's not that special because they're doing that every week anyway. It just happens to be Christmas. So in this case, what are we bringing in new? We're getting the backstory of Julian Fawcett MP. So we're really focusing on his family stuff, and specifically the fact that he has not been there for his daughter as he's dead.
But he wasn't there for even before he was dead.
Yes,
and that's the growth that we see in Julian in this episode.
Yeah. But then we also have, in a much more human drama sense, Mike's family are coming over for Christmas. Now, she's not called Annabelle. What's she called? Alison. Now,
Annabelle!
That's all I can think of. Now, Alison's family is absent from Ghosts because I think the whole point
they don't
is
exist. That's the whole point. That's how she inherits the house. Is that
she
her
inherits
long
this house
lost
from
relative?
A long lost relative. So obviously, her parents must not be around or whatever. I don't know if we ever really dwell on that or get into it, but certainly she doesn't seem to have any family around. So we're relying on Mike to provide the family. Mm-hmm. All his family are coming round to his big country house, which makes sense.
It does. And we get some lovely family tension. Well, I tell you what I like about the tension that's built up in the family. There's obviously history there, and they sort of tell us the history. They show us. They don't tell us. Mm-hmm. You can sort of see all the little resentments and things within the family without them being explicit about it.
Yeah, I think it works really nicely. And we haven't really had any establishment of this family previously.
Not at all.
I think they pop up a bit later. Maybe his parents turn up at another episode. But this is new, basically. Mike's got a family. Here they are. And we don't really mess about trying to introduce them in any significant way. It's just like, oh, look, mum, dad, 2 sisters, one of them's got a baby. That's it. What do you need to know? And they just start interacting with each other. Show, don't tell kind of thing.
Exactly.
But the big kind of point of contention is that Mike is like, right, I'm hosting Christmas, so I'm doing Christmas, and I've got my plan. I'm going to plan everything. I want my parents to sit by the fire and relax and not do anything.
Yeah, but that's not true. He's pitching it as, I want my parents to be looked after and have a relaxing time and not have to do all this. But what he really means is, leave me alone. It's my kitchen. Get out.
Well, I think we can all relate to that. Christmas particularly.
Yes.
Like, yes, I'm trying to do this for you. Now piss off. So leave me alone to do it. Because it's a stressful thing organising a big Christmas dinner.
It is.
And we see Mike, he has a whiteboard with a whole list of things he's pinned up to...
I like a whiteboard. Do you know what? I was a bit disappointed because I paused the iPlayer and looked at the whiteboard, and there was nothing. There was no Easter egg on there. It was just like put the sprouts in, boiled potatoes. I was like, oh, really?
Do you know what I noticed, because it's supposed to be like a whole plan of the day and like, oh yeah, cook this, do that. But then one of them was wrap presents, which is like, okay, I would have done that late. 2 weeks earlier.
Bit late. Yes, I did notice that.
You don't have to worry about doing that on the day. You've got enough on. And there was another one, like make mince pies. It's like, okay, you do that a few days ahead. Come on, let's get sensible about this. But I guess that was just like, it's probably just one person in the...
That felt to me like that was a last-minute prop.
Yeah, it's a shame. But we do find ourselves with the ghosts as well. So obviously... that's what we're setting up with Mike and his family. But our ghosts have to be up to something, not just Julian. And in fact, at first, they're all a bit sanguine. They're all a little bit like, we haven't had a proper family Christmas in a long time, and we miss our families. And it's a little bit, everyone's a bit sad. And so we're going to have to bring everyone together under the...
When we talked about ghosts, we said Mary particularly has got... PTSD about having been burned alive by her family, but most of them, we don't really deal with that. We don't really deal with that sense of them having died, except perhaps in a couple of examples. But Christmas is for families. Christmas is a great family occasion, and Christmas is an anchor that we can all remember Christmases past. We can all remember happy times, and I suppose if you're a ghost who's all their loved ones died many, many years ago, this is an occasion upon which you start to, remember. Yeah. And I think, again, Christmas, if you see your family over Christmas and then someone dies, suddenly they're not there at Christmas. That's when you notice.
That is exactly when we notice these things. So I think it's a really nice setup. I think the Ghost works very well because of that anyway. But now we're pulling it into this particular narrative. We do have, as we set up Mike's family, his sister arrives with a baby in tow. Mm-hmm. And this baby is a very restless baby. He's crying a lot at the moment. Babies
she looks stressed.
She's stressed and tired. And but more specifically, we discover, and I don't think this was established before, babies can see the ghosts.
Yeah, is this when it's established? Because I
think
did
so,
know
yeah.
that, but I can't remember when we learned that. Yes,
And it's a real throwaway thing where one of them like coochie coochie coo and like, oh, I think he looked at me, and Mary says, oh yes, the little ones can see us actually, yes, until they gets to walking age, something along those lines. It's a real throwaway thing just to establish why Julian can interact with this baby later on and find love in his heart again. The baby and the mother are deposited into Julian's bedroom. That's the room they've been assigned.
He's furious about it.
Yeah, he hates babies. I get that. That's fair enough. But it starts to give him flashbacks. So we start having these flashbacks of his own baby and his ignorance of it.
Let's just take a moment and let's go through the flashbacks, because there's some real gold here. So the opening scene of this episode is Julian in the House of Commons, that family thing.
Yeah.
Now, so that he's sort of CGI'd or green screened onto the benches of the House of Commons. Looks terrible, doesn't it, Alan?
It does look... To say this is a show where we often have characters like walking through walls and stuff, and they obviously make the effort of making that work. It does look a bit shoddy, doesn't it?
I'll tell you the problem was, he's too small. They got the scale wrong. He's like this little tiny man on the benches. That's the problem.
So yeah, and then we have him talk. He's tub thumping in Parliament about how important family is, and then cut to him getting whammed at the Conservative Christmas party and calling his wife and saying, "Hey, stop bothering me."
His wife calls and he says, I've got to get this. It's that woman from my wedding."
Yeah, that's a good line.
Did you notice some of the props? Some of the 1990s props?
Oh, go on.
Well, he's on the landline phone, and what I noticed was very set in time. It was a push button landline phone, so not one of the rotary dial things. It was like a very, very specific, the push button phones that they had for a while. But he had a computer on his desk, which looked like a washing machine. Fantastic, big thing. And also had a calculator on his desk, which again, it's just not a thing anymore, is it?
Got it on my phone, mate.
Good detail. There was a mouse mat. Remember them?
Ah, yeah, remember them?
Yeah, if Peter Kay would have a field day. No, they were good props. But, he's just whenever we see flashbacks of Julian, he's just such a sleaze, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's trying to get off with one of the secretaries at the Christmas party or whatever it is he's doing.
Then in the next flashback, he's like in Soho. There's a sort of strip club behind him, and he's got an early Motorola brick phone in his hand. Did you see? I loved his costume. He was he had a sort of blousy shirt on and what looked like a kind of leather flying jacket or something. Anchored it very much in time. That was very good.
And he's saying, he's talking to his wife again, but he's saying something along the lines of, I'm in Brussels, I'm negotiating a very important deal or something like that. It's just like someone's stripping.
But constantly in the background, there's the baby crying, and obviously much to the exasperation of this poor abandoned woman. But he's just like, I can't eat for the baby, the baby's doing me head in. And off he goes.
Yes. So, yeah, we're just really hammering home Julian's not in the baby thing. So he's pissed off because there's a baby in his room. He's wandering around, and he just generally dislikes Christmas. He's the Scrooge of the episode here.
Mm-hmm. Back to Mike. He's in the kitchen trying to get things done, and his mum's interfering. She's brought all sorts of stuff with her. They've brought some beef. That's not a side dish. What are you doing? I've got beef.
And I think this is really good stuff. It's that what I found very relatable is that your parents always see you as kind of the person who left, like the 18-year-old that they were kind of last saw on a daily basis, and then you've moved away, you've become an adult, you've become a whole thing, but they still kind of have that image in you because that's the last time they really interacted you with on a great scale. I think that really works nicely here. They have absolutely no faith in his ability to create a meal and do a project. So they're like, but they're trying to help in a nice way. They're not like having a go at him. They're like, oh well, we'll help. We'll bring this. I'll bring this for you.
But that's the unspoken undermining. He interprets as it. You don't have any belief in me at all, and he might be right.
Yeah, and his sisters are there to really just turn the screw. Like they know he gets pissed off and then has a big hissy fit, and so they're deliberately.
So they're filming him on their phones and
And
Yeah,
good,
but again,
good
this is a
sibling
good
stuff
example.
there, isn't it? Deliberately winding.
This
each
is
other
a good
up.
example of that show don't tell. They've got, they're just like winding him up and poking at him, and we never sort of hear the backstory. Are they little sisters, big sisters? I don't know, but we can see the family dynamic there. There's a really good scene here that I really enjoyed where the sisters are watching like videos of Mike losing it, and Kitty is behind them. Kitty, our ghost, and like she's giggling along with them and pretending to be one of the little gang. There's a really nice bit of acting from Lolly Adefope.
Yeah, it's a lovely bit, and Kitty's always like that. Like when they have the wedding episode and stuff like that, she always just wants to be with the girls, and it's her and Alison. Like that relationship is kind of like that, and it's really sweet. And like you see Mike just kind of he's busying about, and you just hear Kitty in the background going, "Oh, there he is, girls! Look at him. Let's make fun of him. He's going to fall out again." Because she can say it out loud because no one can hear it.
Yeah. No one can hear it. Yeah.
It's a nice.
There's a nice little. There's a lovely Robin gag here when Mike strikes a match and Robin goes, "Oh!" Still gets me. That's great. I love those. I really enjoy those little throwaway things.
Yeah, it's such a weird character, Robin. Like he's such a worldly wise character, but then obviously these little moments that throw him completely. And
to be honest, Robin doesn't have all that much to do in this episode. Robin's probably my favourite character in Ghost, but he doesn't have a lot to do. He basically spends most of the episode curled up in front of the fire like a pet dog.
Yeah, it's quite nice because there's one point where is it Mike who says something? He's talking to his dad. But like he's talking to him, he's like, "No, stop, sit down," and Robin, like a dog, just automatically sits down, like he's responding to that because Robin's animalistic. But like it doesn't really make sense, but it's funny. and then he just goes, "Me good boy," which I just thought he's such a sweet little character, isn't he?
What are other ghosts up to then? So Pat's delighted that Alison's bought them a game of Twist It, a game of Twister. And that's actually a really good idea. I bet they were really happy when they came up with that in the writing room because that is a thing that the ghosts can do.
Yeah, and again, it just gives them opportunity to fall out. And there's a nice moment where Pat is kind of in charge because he's the dad of the group. And the boys have taken over and they're not letting the girls play anymore.
They're taking it too seriously, Alison. They're not even letting the girls play.
Come off it, Pat.
No, you come off it. It's not bloody on.
Pat?
No, I've had enough. Going to the shed to drink a Watney's. I'm not.
That's great. That's Jim Howick's best line in this episode. Do we know? By the way, do you understand the reference to Watney's?
I mean, I know what Watney's is, but like, it's not my time period at all.
Very specifically, a Watney's Party 7, which was. do you remember last year when we did Steptoe on Sunday? They had a little mini keg of beer on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that 10 years later, that little wooden keg was a metal can of beer, like a
Party
big
7.
when I say a can, I mean like the same shape as a can of beans but much bigger. 7 pints bigger, so it contains 7 pints of beer, but you had to, in order to open it, you had to basically like stab the top in two places like you might with a can of evaporated milk or something, and pour it out from there. Absolutely unwieldy piece of equipment. I don't know who designed that. Like, why is that better than just an eight cans of beer? I don't know.
Now, I've got a note here, Gareth, where I've unfortunately not put any context, so I can't remember. See if you can help me with this. I've just put, the captain does a girthy shaft joke. It's something to do with cutting a tree down.
Now, Michael, with a shaft of this girth, the trick is firm blows.
Well, yeah, so Mike's been sent out into the garden to cut down a small tree to bring in so they've got a good Christmas tree. But of course, his dad's brought a chainsaw. His dad's got a chainsaw in the car, so again, Mike can't do anything.
Honestly, though, what sort of maniac is cutting down a tree on Christmas Eve?
Again,
like, if you're going to cut down a tree...
That should have been dealt with.
If you're going to cut down a tree from your own garden because you live in a massive country house... Do it in early December.
At least 3 weeks ago's whiteboard, that should have been on.
But yes, his dad once again cuts him down by chopping the tree down before he can get the tree down. Yeah. Can I just make a quick comment here? It was sort of, I think I made this note when they was chopping the tree down, but Leon Herbert, who plays Mike's dad, the way I think it's the way he's dressed here and everything. His beard's lovely and all that, but he looks like he's in an M&S advert.
Yeah, he does. That's good. That's a good shout, actually. Yeah.
He's just so well put together, like beautiful clothing and just everything's like. And, I don't know if that.
I was going to ask you, and maybe I don't know how much research you've done for this Christmas festive episode, but I didn't recognise any of the actors playing Mike's family. Was there anything notable there in their past?
I had a quick look, and not a lot of it. I mean, Leon Herbert has just been around for years. He's in loads of stuff. He's just one of those people. The one that really jumped out at me was the younger sister, played by Timika Ramsey, who is notable because she was in Horrible Histories. Post these guys, obviously.
The second incarnation.
Yeah. And she was in... she did something with Kyle Smith-Bino at some point as well. I can't quite remember what it was, but she was in something with him. That was the only connection I kind of found, really. But yeah, they're not particularly well-known actors or anything.
Well, Julian's descent into madness culminates with an absolutely terrible CGI scene where he's running through the woods in his without his trousers on. And
this is fascinating stuff.
What is this scene? Describe it for us, Alan.
First of all, okay, so basically he's driven mad by this baby crying, so he just I've got to get out of here, and he just goes running through the woods. Obviously, he's got no trousers on, so he just sort of looks ridiculous anyway. But as he's running, it's just this sort of face on him, and then things start to revolve around him. And this is a classic kind of film noir thing. You'll see it a lot, where there's like a character who's running through, and there's like the cityscape coming around him, and that's definitely what this is evoking. It's a deliberate thing. But you'll get it in something like The Big Lebowski does it. But it's usually when a character's on drugs or they're drunk. There's something like not going right in their head.
Yes.
And in this case, it's just
descent into madness.
Descent into madness. And I did feel like this was very Mighty Boosh-like. It's a very... I think this is where Simon Farnaby...
That is a good shout. Yes.
I think this might be the Farnaby writing part. But essentially,
right there,
it is his own kind of words coming back to haunt him. He's talking... And clips from... or quotes from earlier things he said about ignoring his children and all that kind of thing. It's very indulgent, and I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. But they're obviously just having a bit of fun with it.
But it is the turning point of Julian's arc, where he starts to make peace with the baby and finds regret in his past decisions.
Just a quick word as well on Fanny Button, who again. Doesn't get much to do in this episode. She's insistent that we're getting a tree to decorate because that's tradition.
Yes. She wants to get the decorations down, the old decorations.
Well, she says, I believe there's some decorations in the attic, and Alison says, oh yes, we've got some old traditional decorations in the attic. Now, I know it wasn't going here because it's not that kind of show, but how many of those decorations do you think would be overtly racist somehow? Because you'd think Christmas decorations couldn't be.
We've already said ghosts do not go there.
Exactly.
The fact that most of these characters would have some very old-fashioned attitudes to pretty much everything is not raised.
But there's definitely going to be some sort of gollywog decorations going on.
No. Well, we come back to the kitchen, and Mike is now wearing a reindeer onesie, much to everyone's amusement, and he can't get it off. So this is where he finally loses it, and it's all the funnier that he loses his temper while he's wearing a reindeer onesie, of course, and he can't unzip it. He's trying to get out of it because he knows there's no dignity in it, but he can't get out of the damn thing, and he can't unzip it. The zip's stuck. It's very funny.
It's nice. It's nice. Kyle Smith-Bino, I think we talked about this in our general episode. He plays a really good supportive role, like because Alison is really the kind of our drive here in terms of she's the one dealing with the ghosts. He does a lovely job of being that supportive character to her, but from an acting point of view, this is an episode where they've got, right, let's get a Mike heavy episode, give him something to do, and he's nailing it. He's just pulling everything out. He's just hitting everything really nicely. And does everything with a real likability and charm as an actor. I think we always just like Mike, even when he's being an incredible sulk.
Do you remember? I don't know if it was a specific year, but I'm going to guess pre-COVID, where suddenly everyone had a onesie, like everyone got one for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh man, what is that about? Like I've never felt. No, that's not true. But I rarely feel as old as when there's a trend, a new fashion for something. I was like, oh, I'm too old for this shit. Everybody had a onesie. I remember going to park run on the weekend after Christmas, and people running in ones. I'm like, it's pajamas, you monsters.
Yeah, I've got my young lady friend. She has a onesie which she'll wear sometimes, well, not in public. You know what I mean? Like it's loungewear.
I'm not being too dismissive of your lady friend because my wife has a onesie as well. She wants a new one for Christmas. Well, I suppose I shall buy her one because I do love her. But that doesn't mean I have to respect her.
That's what Christmas is all about. So at this point, we have Julian interacting with the baby in a slightly more positive way,
and with his Newsnight thumbs.
Yes, he discovers
we're
that
not going to be able to do
is...
this in an audio medium, are we? Newsnight thumbs.
The baby is soothed by his Tony Blair-esque hand gestures for some reason, and so. He finds that he can kind of communicate with this baby and have a little bit of a relationship with it. And that is sort of just sets us up for the ending where he soothes it and it finally sleeps.
He starts to tell her a bedtime story. Did you catch the opening line of his story? Once upon a time, there was a man who wasn't afraid to speak his mind, even when the PC Brigade came out. Nice shout out for the PC Brigade, by the way, who are very much a predecessor of the woe karate.
Yeah. I just want to another little scene here, and there's a lot of stuff going on. This is just a normal length episode; it's not a longer episode, but there's a lot happening, and Ghost is pretty layered like that. So now we just have a little scene where the captain wants to watch the Queen's speech.
Well, no, he wants to listen to the Queen's speech because he's always listened to it on the radio, the wireless, the King's speech. He's got his head around the fact that it's a queen now, not a king.
Yes. Well, obviously...
But he sees it as indecent that I can see her posy.
Good Lord. No, wait. No, it's like I'm in her actual drawing room.
I thought this is what you wanted.
Well, yes, but no. I mean, this is unseemly. I can see her posy. No, this is very inappropriate, Alison. Now, an officer and a gentleman should not be privy to the colour and thickness of the Queen's curtains.
Now that, I don't think David Croft would let you get away with that. But that's a fantastically written line.
That is like a perfect example of how Ghost skates the line. Because there is some absolute filth in there. But if you were a 9-year-old watching this, you just would not catch that at all.
But I found this interesting because, so yes, the captain wants to listen to the monarch's speech on the wireless. And I think we can assume that perhaps even the old woman who lived in the house for so many years probably listened to the Queen's speech on the wireless. So he's kind of up to date with that. We got the sense that this old woman was probably stuck in the 70s kind of vibe and didn't have a telly. But it's just to use my personal kind of history knowledge here. I, at one point in my university career, I wrote an essay, did a whole module about the influence of radio in the early sort of half of the 20th century, and specifically on how radio and the monarch's speech humanized the royal family and sort of started us on a path of the monarch, rather than being this sort of semi-deity that lives on high, to being real human people, which is translated down to, the Queen's kids of just like getting divorced and, being dragged through the tabloids and all sorts of other things. But the theory I was working on when I was writing this essay was that the bringing the monarch's voice into your home was crossing a line. And by doing that, it humanized them.
Yes.
Because they were not just some figure you might see at an official event or a picture in the paper. It was actually them talking to you in your home. And it seems weird, like it's something we take a lot for granted now because we all have TV and radio and all that. But 100 years ago, no.
Having someone on a stamp.
Yeah, having someone talk to you on the radio, it was different to going and seeing someone. It's just psychologically different. And, of course, the monarch's speech sort of started in the late 30s. It kind of began because of, first of all, the abdication of Edward VIII.
Is that right? Is that why they started doing it?
Not quite, but that was the first time
because
where...
their dad, George V, was the first to do it, wasn't he?
No, it was George VI was the first one to do a Christmas message to the thing, because the abdication was a real kind of kicking off point of he did a speech saying, I'm abdicating, this is why I'm leaving. And then during the war, it was like, okay, the royal family are going to reach out to the people and show how we're all supporting you, and I'm going to talk to you. So it was kind of the 40s. So it was right bang when the captain was around. Would have been just when it was starting. It wouldn't really have been a thing in his mind unless he's listened to it since, I think.
Well, maybe that's where it all went wrong. During the war, the king doing radio broadcasts. In the 100 Years' War, he was out there swinging a sword. Get out there, lad.
Yeah, come on, son. Hey, do you know what? This is a total tangent. I just watched a film called Hyde Park on Hudson, which is a fictionalized take on FDR meeting the King George VI. Played by, who plays the King?
It's a long time since that, remind me.
Samuel West.
Ah, that's right, of course, yes.
So it was just because we talked about Prunella Scales the other day. And who plays the Queen Mother, although obviously she was the Queen at the time?
No, go on, remind me.
Olivia Colman.
Really? Oh, that is interesting. That's
in a very
I don't remember
early non-comedic role for her. It's it's like a couple of years before Broadchurch, so it's kind of when she was starting to make that transition. And there's humour to it. Like Bill Murray plays FDR. The whole film has a little bit of humour to it, but they're not comedy roles. Yeah. So a sitcom connection, which I just thought I'd drop it in here because I'll never get a chance.
Incidentally, Christmas is here because there's a Christmas Bake Off special this year with the cast of Peep Show.
Oh, really?
Including, I mean, the headline is Olivia Colman, although between you and me, my headline was always Big Sue's. But the guy who played Super Hands is in it as well, so there might be ketamine cakes, I don't know.
Are they doing it in character?
I don't know.
That'd be amazing.
But I'll tell you what's interesting is David Mitchell's doing it, Robert Webb isn't, and I don't know if there's any story there. I'm sure there isn't.
They're probably just busy, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, that was probably I'm convinced that'll have been recorded in the summer while they had the tent up, you know. So that's probably recorded even earlier than our Christmas special.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's get back to the few too many tangents there. Let's get back to the episode.
You can never have too many tangents. That's what this is all about.
So we finally have Mike triggered into the Incredible Sulk, and he finally kicks off. I do like his impotent frustration at just trying to rip this stupid reindeer onesie off, and it just won't unzip. Like the most basic of anger storming out, he can't do. So
because you can't be angry in a onesie. Like there's no dignity in it.
But so I felt sorry for Mike because as much as he's obviously having a bit of a hissy fit, his family are absolutely winding him up. And his parents aren't doing it deliberately, but they are, and his sisters are doing it deliberately.
yeah.
And I felt very bad for the guy, and he's just trying to give everyone a nice day.
Everyone have a nice Christmas. Yeah. We get it all rounded up with Julian. We see the growth. And he's finally found that he's got affection for this baby, and he regrets his own daughter. And then we sing a Christmas carol, which, because I am a soft old shite, made me cry.
So the summing up of Julian, he's kind of just says, isn't family a total nightmare? But actually, it's all right. That's still better than not having people around you to love you. And so he's kind of.
And we get a scene where he goggles his daughter, don't we? So he Googles his daughter, and he's worried that she's going to be a drug addict because he abandoned her, etc. And it turns out that she's an MP. The twist being that she's a Green Party MP. But I thought the punchline was that there's going to be that he would say that would write off all of his learning, and so to hell with it. But no, he was like, okay, no, that's all right. No one's perfect.
We also so we end the Mike's story. We end basically his dad makes peace with him. Essentially says, look, I'm used to hosting Christmas and bringing my family together, and I'm not going to be able to do it forever. And I'm just desperately holding on to it while I can.
That made me cry as well.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Do you know when we talked about Ghosts? I enumerated the number of times that I cried watching the whole series. This was twice in this episode,
But that's relatable. I think our parents will still host a family Christmas and everything, but it's not like when you've got kids. It's not what it once was, and I think they're happy to not do it. But
Do you
I
remember
get it.
when we watched The In-Betweeners? And I said, when I first watched it, I was a little bit older than they were, but I could relate to it, you know?
Yeah.
And then when we watched it again for the podcast, I had a completely different experience. I was relating to the parents.
The parents and teenagers, yeah.
And that's kind of, I can relate to Mike's dad now in this situation, you know, because my son and his girlfriend have got their own place, and you know, am I going to go see them for Christmas? Are they going to come and see me? It's the dynamics change.
Yeah. It's nice. It's just a nice little moment between them. It's not laid on too thick. I think that's what Ghost does very well.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Julian story. It's all just nicely balanced. And then the last thing, Alison is not exactly lost in this episode, but it's a deliberately Mike heavy episode.
There's a lot less of her in this, certainly.
So her whole thing is she just I just want to get everyone together to sing Christmas carols. That's my Christmas joy. So let's do that. And Mike's family are like not those people.
Well,
and so
at the very
she turns
beginning,
to her other
Mike is trying very nicely to say, "Let's not do that," because he knows his family won't be up for it.
But Alison now has a new family, and it is a family of ghosts, and they all come together around the old Joanna, and they sing a very sweet little Christmas carol.
In the bleak midwinter, which is, by the way, bleak. That is not a good carol. But do you remember, like, former pop star Charlotte Ritchie as Alison?
Oh yes, of course. She is a singer extraordinaire.
She was a singer in a what were they called? Not classical rock. What were they called? Classical. Yeah. Basically, it was post Charlotte Church, and they were trying to get, like, you know, young girls who looked nice and could sing, and giving them like classical songs to sing, choral songs.
What were they called? All Angels or something stupid like that. And they're all like 17. It was just crazy.
Yeah. Easily exploited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess this is a roundabout way of saying she got a lovely voice, the lass. She can knock a tune out.
Yeah.
And it turns out all Mike's family are watching, and they don't join in, but they go, "Oh, that's nice," and that's about as good as it's going to get.
She just, as far as they're concerned, it's just her singing a song on her own, so it's just slightly odd.
Yeah, but Mike's mum earlier had said, "Oh no, I don't like carols; they're depressing." And I mean, this does bear her out. In the bleak midwinter is depressing.
It's all right though. It's a nice little moment, and I think was it in Miranda or something where they all just start singing a carol at the end, and then it just sort of fades out
to the audience. Yeah,
a little bit too kind of sickly. Whereas this feels like it's earned it, and it's nicely put together.
It's a nice way to end it. Yeah. Well, again, you know, I'm repeating myself here, but this is what I love about Ghosts. I think it just toes the line perfectly of sentimentality and humor, and it's my favorite sitcom, my favorite modern sitcom.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and like I say, I think it's really, really well written across the board. Which, considering there's 6 different writers and pairing off and do all like that's quite a remarkable consistency. I mean, presumably they have some sort of script editing process where they bring it all together rather than just randomly let people go off and write a script. But yeah, really, really, it is a really well made show.
My only complaint about this episode is that, you know, we don't see enough of Pat, who's my favourite character. But even, you know, that line we said earlier, the Watneys, like that made me laugh out loud. So, you know, I can't
It's
complain.
good. They all just get their little moment. Thomas is trying to get a kiss off Alison. That's all he really does. It doesn't come to much. But at least they're just dropping those little moments in, so we're getting all the characters. But yeah, it's a Julian and Mike heavy episode, which we don't get much of, frankly. So that's all right.
That's true. Well, I think that wraps up Christmas 2025.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to all our listeners. I hope you have got all the presents that you wanted, and that you have some lovely family time with whoever you consider to be your family. We will see you in the new year with a new series. We've already started planning that out. So have a happy new year, and we will talk to you soon. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.